We're already off the rails.
Woo! Boys and girls, we are on fire. We are on fire today. We had Chris Barton at 2 p.m. It's uploaded on the tube, but I haven't put it out. I've been doing too much shit. I'm excited. Look at what we got. This is Stirring the Pot with Donkey Cade and our very special guests, if you will, on a fine Saturday afternoon. We have friend Erick. Welcome to the I'm so excited. Welcome to the Fan Roundtable, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
The leader of the Woo Crew. What's up, Kulik, baby? Woo!
Woo! Yeah, baby. Roundtable Extreme.
Oh wow, extreme. Oh, this could get extreme. You never know. Our special guest, he's a little extreme. You never know. Then we have a returning. I think he fell in a hole somewhere or slept in a cave for some months. Welcome back, our friend Shwag. What's up, baby?
What's up? Glad to be back.
Yeah.
Woo!
Not to rub it in your face, but you miss Karen Bam Bam. And then we have one. This is what we got right now. A new face on the roundtable. Welcome to the Fan Roundtable. One Joey G, the host of the RIP Sign podcast himself. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hello. I don't know if you could see that, but it says Kincaid Files. Don't worry, I'm not going to rip.
Welcome to the show. We like to have a lot of fun. We hang out. We talk wrestling. I usually have a special guest. I never tell anybody who it is because that's what we like in wrestling is surprises. But we were having so much technical difficulties. This is all I got the time for to hang out and talk to our friends. Right now, I'm going to dial in our special guest. And Joey G, my friend, I asked you on today for a because, my friend, you are going to love our special guest. Coming on in. And let me do this, do that, do this, do that, hit that, do that. And we're going to have a special guest coming on in, my friends. This is going to be fun. Some of you may, some of you might not know who our special guest is. Jim Kulik has joined, so he's left, and then he's come back in. We are calling our
The dogs got
guest.
loose, man.
You know, I know drink water is. Wait.
Oh, what do we got?
Let's see. Who is our special guest? I see a couple initials, RB. I know they stand for. Oh! Yes. Yes. Welcome to the Fan Roundtable. Look at Joey G. Welcome to the Fan Roundtable as our special guest, one half of the stepdads. It is Rad Dad himself, Radley Belmont. What's up, my man?
How are we doing, boys? We having a good time?
What's up?
Oh, man. This is awesome.
Fantastic.
Joey G just creamed himself a little bit.
I feel bad. I wore the wrong shirt.
Don't worry. Joey, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
I have two Stepdads t-shirts right here waiting for you, buddy.
Ah, yes.
Wow.
Way you like it, okay?
Wow.
You know where to find me.
Slide into it.
Well, we got a late start because of technical difficulties, so you're basically coming in right at the top of our show, Rad Dad. So welcome to the craziness, the madness, the kookiness. That is a Fan Roundtable. We like to kick back, have fun, talk about our favorite talents, talk about wrestling in general. But when we have a special guest come in, we like to do Q&A session. We'll do a little round robin. We'll have fun. We'll get to learn about our fine talent on the local scene. But this, my friend, is Joey G's first time on the Fan Roundtable, and I thought it was a very perfect time to bring him in because of one Rad Dad coming on in. So what I'm gonna do now, I want to go to Joey G real quick, if I may, gentlemen. Joey G, I like to call you Jackie G. I don't know why. It is what it is. Jackie G, welcome to the Fan Roundtable, first off. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with our silly.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me for this.
Oh, absolutely. Because what we like to do at the events, boys and girls, is make friends, find new acquaintances. And this guy right here, I'll call him the leader, if you will, of the Stepdad Squad, the Insanely Rude section. There's a lot going on in Joey G's world, Jackie G, if you will. He's doing a podcast. And, to take the time out, we met Joey G over at Smoker's Ride House. And, man, we had a lot of fun at Test of Strength. Joey G, did you not have tons of fun at Test of Strength, my friend?
Oh, man, you don't know. It was going back into September for, I don't remember if it was Fight for Your Dreams. Yeah, it was Fight for Your Dreams. It was the first show I had gone to in months since this, pandemic came out, and I was so happy. And, I've been saying for a long time, I think I had this conversation with the Rad Dad before. I was saying, I've been wanting to see the Stepdads for the longest time prior to that, because I've been blowing up Twitter, be like, hey, Northeast Wrestling, because I'm a big NEW guy, because I'm always at the NEW shows. And I'll be like, hey, NEW, bring the Stepdads in, wink, wink, and it just seems like it would never, I thought maybe if we could get some, make some noise that I'd been saying, it would work. And, still, I guess they haven't gotten the call by Mr. Lombardi yet, but it is what it is, And then my buddy Tony Douglas, he hit me up out of nowhere. He's like, hey, you should come to the show on August, August or September, called Fight for Your Dreams by a company called Test of Strength. I'm sorry. And I was like, yeah, sure. It's wrestling. He's like, yeah, okay. What's on the card? I look at the card. The first card name that I see on the card that drew me instantly was the Stepdads. And I'm like, wait, is those Stepdads? He's like, what Stepdads? I'm like, no, I mean, he couldn't understand what I said because he didn't know who I was talking about at the time. But I was drawn. So I instantly messaged him. I'm like, yo, are you guys going to be at that show? And Daniel's like, yep.
Stepdads. I want to go right over to Rad Dad, because now hearing that as a fan, coming from a fan to a wrestler on the scene of a modern era right now, which is very kooky. We all know the modern fan. We all know everything about the biz, if you will. But hearing that from a fan, very excited, brings signs, brings his energy. Just like we like our fans in wrestling. We don't like them all wordy and mouthy and stuff and being rude and all of this crap. We love them just like Joey G. Hearing that firsthand, right from Joey G's mouth, how does that make a wrestler feel, my friend?
I mean, for me, obviously, I'm still a fan of wrestling. I still love wrestling, so it's so weird when somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I was just tweeting all about you on Twitter." To me, it's so crazy to me. Me, I'm like, oh, that's what people tweet Seth Rollins. They're not tweeting me, So it's just incredible. It's awesome. I'm always humbled by it. I probably always will be, unless someone gives me $1 million and I retire or something. I get big go. But other than that, it's awesome. And I think I've told Joey this before, but he has helped us get bookings in the past because of his tweets. That's a real thing that has happened. And I thank them for it. And if I didn't, I'd thank you right now. That's what I was talking about. And it means a lot. Just like when I wasn't in independent wrestling, when I didn't go up to upstate New York and watch wrestling there, I didn't go to other parts of Pennsylvania, so I didn't know who wrestled where. Independent wrestling, it's a big family, but it's still very small and local. Certain guys like me, who, I'm a little bit over here, a little bit over there. So guys like Joey G really help get us to that next level of just people knowing who we are. Invictus Pro Wrestling 100% would not know who we were if not for Joey G. They might see a clip and they might not know our names, but they know who we are and they're putting us on their shows. And that's specifically because of people like him.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's excellent.
And the same goes for test of strength. We had a couple people say, we saw your match with the Ugly Ducklings. We'd love to get you on test of strength, and it ended up working out. And that kind of stuff is invaluable to me. They're tiny baby steps to a big career, larger goals. All that big wrestling talk that everyone talks about, their dreams, but it's real. It's absolutely real.
That as a fan, and as all of us as fans, I think that is some of the fucking coolest shit I have ever heard on this fan roundtable. Like, for real, legit, no bullshit. That is amazing right there. Woo Crew, what's with the fucking animal control? What's going on over there? I thought Drinkwater had that shit under wraps, man.
Yeah, what it is, man. It's his birthday today, so he's not on the show. Obviously, he's the heel faction of the Roundtable. You know how it is.
We have a heel, and man, what a face! What a face to be a heel is this kid, Mike Drinkwater, and we have a lot of fun. And he's one of Woo's good friends. I didn't mean to interrupt, Mr. Kulik. Please continue.
No, not at all. That's okay, Kincaid Files. I mean, it's just, what you said, man, that was awesome. And we love to hear that because that's what we do. Us in the Woo Crew and in the Roundtable, what we try to do is get the fans amped up, get the wrestlers cranked up, and it's funny because I've actually, there's been times I've actually had to say to Russ at the end of the show, I'm like, hey man, we were just joking around, just getting everything going, and they understood because I mean, hey, they were playing, we were playing off of them, they were playing off of us. So thanks for coming on the show today, man. That's awesome. And Tessa's strength is nothing better. Wagner Brown's running that shit, man. Let me tell you something, a class act. Good friend of mine in the business. Great guy.
Absolutely. When we talk a test of strength on the show, and any promotion and any talent, Rad Dad, we always lift our talent that we go see. We always lift our promotions. Even if there's been a little ruffle in the feathers with some talent or some promotion in the past, that never gets in the way. I'm talking specifically here within our environment with the fan roundtable. We always lift our talent and our promotions. We never down them. We never talk politics. We never talk religion. We never get into this crazy stuff. It's always about the positive and what our fandom, what we love at the shows, and having the wrestlers take their time to come on our show, because this is definitely not my show. Stirring the Pot is our show, the fan show. So when the wrestlers take the time to special guest on something like this out of their day, that makes us feel really cool. And I'm not bypassing you, Mr. Rad Dad, but I want to go to one, we like to call him Shwag. It's swag with a little Jewish spin on it, if you will. Now, Shwag hasn't been on the show in a while. Are you familiar with the Stepdads, my friend?
I heard them recently on TOS. So
okay.
I'm not really familiar with them. I just heard about them recently.
Okay. I kind of expected that because Shwag is a TOS guy. He stays within the Connecticut, for the most part, he's in the Connecticut events. And I didn't think that you were at the last couple TOS shows, and the Stepdads have debuted. Yeah, I know. We can't go to them all. I know. But the Stepdads did debut. And my friend, when you get to see, and I'm gonna pull a couple Jenga pieces out of that match, that last night, Rad Dad, you're gonna appreciate this too. We had Cold Cash collectively on Stirring the Pot, and we talked about when Papa Bear, which is Rad Dad's tag team partner in the Stepdads, he took Shwag, he took Ryan Frost's nose, and they had a hot potato. They passed it around. Ryan Frost says that you guys never had his nose. I call bullshit. He says the opposite. But we also talk.
We have the footage. Where was the nose? The nose was right there.
It was right there. But in said match, we also have said footage of one Rad Dad tying up one TJ Howell III in a Japanese necktie of some kind. I don't know what the fuck you call that. And then he sat upon TJ and pulled out the newspaper and read it gallantly. Those two spots right there as Jenga pieces that I pull out of that match. My friend Shwag, tons of fun with the stepdads. You have to get the TOS when stepdads are on the bill, and I feel a regular recurrence of the stepdads. You got to check these guys out.
That spot I seen he did with TJ, that was pretty funny. So, all right, so as new to the stepdads, as a new fan, well, a fan of you, but if you was to recommend me a match to watch of yours, what would it be?
To me personally, it's between a couple, but I'll give you my favorite personally. Look up the Stepdads versus the Ugly Ducklings. It was from New York Championship Wrestling. It'll probably be on one of their videos. It'll be on our YouTube channel at some point. But Stepdads versus Ugly Ducklings, it's a 30-minute match. So maybe you might want to skip around if that's a lot for you. But we do anything and everything. The newspaper stuff. We go to much longer lengths with our newspaper spot in that match. And it starts with a dance off that was absolutely on the fly, and I think we ended up dancing like 8 minutes. There were everything from doing a worm competition to like all sorts of stuff. I think I dabbed at some point, or my tagging partner dabbed. And that was before we even locked up. So we're talking about all sorts of ways. There's a moment where everyone's in slow-mo, and there's the slowest suicide dive you've ever seen in your life. And
it's suicide. Okay.
Yeah. And the music guy is playing that inspirational music, like the dun 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 dun.
Chariots of Fire.
Yeah, that's not even like a post-production thing. That's playing in the ring while we're doing that. And it's got some really awesome wrestling too. It's we really went all out. I always credit that match as the match that got us in the Test of Strength Wrestling. So I love that match.
I definitely check it out.
And Andrew, hearing just that match alone, and with what you've seen from one of their past event with Test of Strength, doesn't those little things, though, we talk a lot about on this show, those little nuances that the wrestlers give us, the fans, that make us really grasp onto their characters, what they're doing in the ring. We want to pay attention to these things that they all bring to the table. There's wrestling, there's comedy, there's seriousness, there's all sorts of stuff. But just hearing what Rad Dad described in this Ugly Ducklings match, doesn't it make you want to go check this mother bleeping thing out, man?
Yeah, because this slowest dive alone, I want to check it out. But normally a suicide dive is you quickly run to the ropes and quickly dives. You said a slow suicide dive. I definitely want to check that. You said a dance off. Yeah, because wrestling is always, like you said, a lot of things happen. Serious, comedy. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Absolutely.
Now that I think about it, he might go over the top rope, so it might be the slowest taker dive you've ever seen in your life.
That's even better.
Yeah. The main thing I remember is how everyone's fighting in slow-mo and nobody really turned around, so he just ended up falling on his own partners. But that's okay. It made it even funnier. So it worked out.
I want to circle back. We haven't been able to talk to friend Erick. We're having such a grand time on the round table right now, baby. Friend Erick, you're at Test of Strength. You saw yourself some stepdads, did you not, my friend?
I did not. I wasn't at that show.
Oh, son of a biscuit. I get them confused. I'm sorry.
That's all good. I was very disappointed that I didn't get to see the debut of the Stepdads, but I did see all the video footage of it, and I thought it was amazing. I think I'm not going to say my favorite because, again, I haven't seen you live yet, but what I do love is your promo work with your partner. Your videos and stuff is top notch. I mean, the comedy is there, but it gets the point across. It brings you in. I really like your promo. I love the comedy wrestling. I'm big into that, but I love the good promo too, and that's top notch right there. So props.
I really appreciate that. I'm a big student of old school wrestling and 80s wrestling and stuff, so promos are extremely important to me personally, as they are my partner. So getting the story across of whatever we're telling, but also putting it in a format of like a 5 minute at most sitcom episode is really what ties it all together for us. And I'm really happy with some of the videos we made. So that's something else you can check out in the future. Those are all on their Stepdad's YouTube page. But I really appreciate that. Thank you, because promos are just as important to me as the matches.
You don't know what's going on if you don't get the lead in, and otherwise you're just sitting there hoping for your favorite guy to win. But if you know the story behind it, it's all about the storyline. And if you got to start somewhere, so it's got to start with a promo. If you ask me, you can't just start out hitting somebody in the forehead or stealing their nose. You gotta, you gotta start with the story. And you guys, like with Cold Cat, when you were doing that Full House bit, you had me. I wish I could have been at that show.
Now, for the boys and girls that aren't familiar with the Stepdads, their promos and this discussion was exactly what I touched upon with Cold Cash. In a very serious note, we were like, Cold Cash was a little bit different last night. An hour, 50 minutes, I talked to Cold Cash. Holy shit. But anywho, we were touching upon the importance of promos. And the Stepdads, for the boys and girls that aren't familiar with the Stepdads, their promos, they got this Full House thing going on. And I showed it to my dad, Rad Dad, at his house when I went to go pick him up, because he asks me who's on the cards and stuff, and I'll give him a rundown. And I go, I want to give you a promo that you're going to absolutely love before we get going. And I showed him that promo, and my dad, when he laughs, you can hear him a mile away. His laugh is so infectious. That mother bleeper was almost in tears. He loved that thing so much. I mean, for legit, no BS, that guy loves him a good promo. And back to what Erick was saying and what we revert to with the conversation with Cold Cash, we the fans and the opposing wrestlers, without that story being started somewhere, there's translation loss once it comes to that match. So a good promo is absolute money / fire with us fans. And you guys always produce great promos. And that's been a great part of your repertoire as a tag team. And I give you 1,000% credit for always producing content.
Thank you. It means a lot. And, there's a lot of promotions they don't want to trust people with storylines and things like that. I'm very happy that we just take the initiative, and I hope a lot of people take the initiative in the future when we start getting back to wrestling all the time. Don't wait for the promoter to ask you. Do a promo. Get your voice out there. Tell your story. Even if you don't have one specifically for your match, if you're just having one match with one guy on one night, that's your movie. That's your story right there. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with getting that across to everybody watching. Even if only 10 people watch, because most of the people are live audience, whatever. That's 10 more people that are going to know what's going on in the ring when you're in the ring.
And one of them could be a guy like Joey G, that really puts his passion. Like friend Erick, like the Woo Crew, like all of us fans, when we go there, we have a lot of passion. So you never know if one of those fans that have that little bit extra passion, if you will, or a little bit extra of a drive to really push a said talent to get on an event that they never thought they would either be on, or possibly didn't know about the company even existing at that point. So Joey G, I cannot wait to take a snapshot of when Rad Dad came in. Your face was absolute bleeping effing money. I cannot wait to take that and put it on the face page. But that's what I love. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I can't wait to see it.
But that's what I love about these things, Rad Dad, is the surprises of wrestling. Even though we're doing it on a fan roundtable via Skype, I never tell who the guest is, because when we get those reactions, I love taking snapshots or making GIFs and putting them on, and everybody gets a gas out of them, and we have good times with that stuff. So Joey G, that is definitely happening right after this. But Joey G, I wanted you on the show specifically because when I connected with one rad dad, I go, you know what? Joey G loves him some stepdads, and I know he might have a little bit of free time, so I'm going to reach out and see if he wants to come on and check out the fan roundtable. And I was so stoked that you said yes, you had the time because of who our special guest was. Now, Joey G is a host of a podcast, so I just want to take a moment here because we use this platform to introduce and promote whoever is doing whatever. So Joey G, Brad Dad, who I like to call Jackie G. Jackie G, I love that. I don't know why. But Joey G, please, the Fan Roundtable platform is all yours. If you could take this over, tell us the fans what you're doing, promote it wherever the platform is. Give us some info on Joey G, please.
All right. Well, first off, I run a podcast now called the Sign Rip Podcast with Joey G. Not Jackie G, but Joey G. But I started it because after when I got back into, I actually had the plans to start the podcast back in April, and because I was inspired by my buddy Justin Del Rio. He's an awesome dude. He runs the Nerds of Wrestling, and hearing him doing the podcasting, I was like, hey, I could do that too, but I don't know how to do it. So I kept asking around people, and asking around people how to start the podcast was kind of a pain at the beginning because, it was just like back in the day with MySpace when you're trying to figure out how to change your background. No one would freaking help you. But yeah, no one would ever help me with that. So, but Justin was literally the only one who would give me some advice on how to do it and everything, which I give him a lot of credit for. And to this day, I thank him because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even have figured out how to start the podcast. So when I was coming up with names on how to do the podcast, I had, the original name I had with the podcast was Pinfalls and Pins That Fall, because I'm on a bowling league, and it sounded cool in my head, but it just didn't feel like it just felt that right. So I kind of struggled with a name for a while, and then me and Justin were talking via Skype through WWE when we were watching Money in the Bank last year, and out of nowhere, he's like, "Oh, how's Mr. Sign Rip doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing all right." And I was like, "Wait a minute, you just made me figure out the name of my podcast." He's like, "What?" It's called the Sign Rip Podcast with Joey G, and that's how it clicked. And I had wrote down the name, but then I kind of got caught off track with a few other things going on at the time, and then the spark just reignited when I got I got back to that Test of Strength show back in September, Fight for Your Dreams. And then the following day, I was at Invictus Pro Wrestling's first show, which I labeled on Twitter the Return to Wrestling Tour. And from there on, that's when I got the spark ignited, and I started the Sign Rip Podcast with Joey G, which ironic, Rad Dad and his partner Papa Bear were on episode 3 of my podcast. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So where can we find the Sign Rip Podcast?
All right. Well, if you're looking to listen to it, you can easily find it on Spotify. Just search up the Sign Rip Podcast with Joey G. If you want to follow me on Facebook, it's just Sign Rip Podcast with Joey G on Facebook. Instagram, look it up for me. Look it up at the Sign Rip Podcast with Joey G. And Twitter, it's just Sign Rip with Joey G.
Now, I know you've had a short tenure with your podcast right now, but could you pick maybe a favorite that you've had? If it's not the stepdads, just whisper it in my ear. It's okay. He won't even know.
Stepdads are definitely, I don't want to pick one favorite out of the 10 episodes I've done. I've loved them all. Stepdads are really high up there because they were one of the funnest ones to do the podcast with. So yeah, they were one of my favorites to do. I really enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed the one with Kennedy Copeland recently that I just did. She was really fun to have on.
Well, she's
The
the
Duke-
stepdaughter, so she counts as a part of the stepdad.
So stepdads and Kennedy Copeland, the Step family. They were a few of my favorites. So 3 and 10 were pretty much big favorites. I enjoyed the very first one with it Insanely Rude a lot too. That was fun.
Mhm.
The one I recently did the Man of Steel Mike Verna as well. That one was fun.
Wow. Nice pickup.
I think the most craziest one that still has me laughing to this day. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Northeast Wrestling. There's a guy called the Duke of Danger, Daniel Evans. I had him on the podcast. He had me laughing like for an hour even after I was done with the podcast because me and him were chatting. I was chatting with the stepdads for a while after the podcast too. And the Duke of Danger and I were chatting somehow we came up with this term from a question I was asked by a fan to listen to it. It asked me, what does the term Duke mean in another country? And it said sandwich slapper. And I don't know how that came up. But ever since that, me and him have been messaging back and forth now about sandwich slapping with everything. He's like, yeah, I wish we could sandwich slap COVID. Or, yeah, the fact that this website is telling me I updated my address is real sandwich slapping annoying. And I'm like, but yeah, I've loved them all,
I know it's hard to pick one. I've been asked that, and I have like 3 that are all kind of tied. But I want to bring up Christina Marie and Ref Bill Thompson. Just because I was liquored up on apple cinnamon moonshine. I was fucked up. Man, did we have good times. Wow, that was fun.
That's the
Joey G, thank you for sharing what you got going on, because that's what we like to do. We lift up our friends. We want people to know where to find them, what they're doing, what they got going on. And I know when we bring on our special guests, we like to focus on that. But we got a new special guest, a new face on the roundtable. So we got to focus on everybody that joins our roundtable. And that's what we like to do, is spread it all around like that. Now, Rad Dad, what I like to do is we do a little Q&A. Is that something you're up for?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I got one question for Joey real quick.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a Sign Rip podcast sign yet?
I do not, actually. I have not yet. I plan on debuting that at one of the upcoming shows.
Gotta have it behind you for the podcast. Come on. And maybe you
should.
rip it at the end of every episode.
That actually. Just give me an idea for the intro now. So
yeah. So what we like to do is do a little round robin, and I know not all of us are familiar with the stepdads, but maybe if we pick a little of Rad Dad's brain, we can get to know more of. And I don't want to leave Papa Bear out of this. He has a tag team partner, Papa Bear, and Wade Kruger, known as, if you will, and boys and girls, an amazing amount of fun that the stepdads bring to the table. If anybody's watching this, besides my father and his dog Jake, which I hope we get a couple more eyes on, please, if you're watching, spread the love of the stepdads. Check their stuff out, because I know you won't be, you'll grasp onto what they're doing, and you'll get into it, and you'll want to spread the love of the stepdads. Promoters, same thing. Check them out. See what's good. It can't hurt to at least look at some new talent if you've never heard of the stepdads, So, check that out. So I want to start with the Woo crew. Now, Rad Dad, I don't know if you know of the Woo crew. Now, they would come in a pack, if you will, of about 6 or so, and they do this stuff. They're very vocal, and like he says, they amp up the crowd. They amp up the guys and girls in the ring. They have loads of fun. So I want to start with this guy, because he knows how to get the crowd going, and we have tons of fun with him at the shows. I think some of the wrestlers want to actually slap him. But Will Crew, Jim Kulik, what do you got for the Rad Dad, my friend?
Oh man, it's a lot of different questions run by my mind. But let me ask you this: how'd you guys come up with your name? The Stepdads. That's a different name for a tag team.
Yes. It's twofold. The actual name comes from my tag team partner's fantasy football team. So before we were even pro wrestlers, he had a fantasy football team called the Stepdads because we beat you and you hate us.
I love this
And
story.
yeah, so he had that for a couple of years, and when he went, I went pro maybe 10 months before he did, and in that time we moved in together. So I was literally watching him play football, and I was like, why don't we become the Stepdads? We're practically that already. Like we're just very old-fashioned, wacky people. Literally, I don't know, 2 hours ago, he and I were just watching WandaVision, which is all about sitcom, stuff.
No spoilers.
So, no spoilers here, believe me. But yeah, so like we're all about the sitcom stuff. We grew up on that. We both have dads that are just the epitome of the archetype type of the dad. I have my thermostat right here, actually. So
There you go.
sure. And I got it locked up so nobody can touch it. Don't touch the thermostat. So it's rules from Dad.
Now, do you see how the fans are reacting? We're just hanging out. We love this kind of stuff because it's part of wrestling, my friend. Could you real quick, before we continue with the round robin, could you please give us the fans some of the Stepdads taglines because you guys are going to love some of this shit, please.
All right, let's see.
love this part.
I'll go off of memory here. So we are the parental guardians of the galaxy. We are the gods of dad bods. We are the old age in-laws. We are the robe warriors. And I have actually walked out in a bathrobe covered in styrofoam spikes as the robe warrior for a main event about a year ago. That was awesome. Let's see. FTR, because fathers totally rule.
Yes.
When I'm in a singles match, I'm the American dadass.
Erick almost fell off his fucking chair.
We've been let's see, the Mega Fathers and the Parental Powers. Oh, jeez. The Men of the House. Hashtag Test of Stepdads.
Yes.
Jeez, there's probably like 15 more I can't think off the top of my head.
It's not a dad bod.
World?
Father.
Hey, it's not a dad bod. It's a father figure. Don't touch the thermostat or you're grounded.
Yes.
Also, you can't become a stepdad by accident, just like you can't become a champion by accident. You have to want it.
Oh, wow.
Right? No
Oh
pizza delivery guy doesn't show up and just go, "Oops, you're a stepdad. Well, I guess this is your pizza now." No, it doesn't happen. You know what you're walking into as a stepdad, so that's how you know I'm ready for anything.
Kulik, what a fine question, and it turned into such a fine conversation. Love.
Now,
Go ahead, Mr. Kulik.
no, I was gonna, yeah. Are you guys gonna end up eventually, wrestle so long you'll be like the two older fathers from Christmas Vacation, right?
I mean,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. My personal favorite tag team is the Rock and Roll Express, and they still wrestle this day. So 20 years from now, we might be the step granddads, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
Good stuff.
You guys want
Would
We'll
you
be like the old men in the Muppet Show, like sitting in the balcony. That'll be us.
Oh, there you go.
Very okay with that.
would your finisher be called the AARP, sir? At that point.
AARP.
Oh, look at that! We have the step granddad's finishing move and all set. I hear a knock at the door. I think we have a special guest. Hold on.
Or it could be called the broken hip.
Ooh, the broken hip! Oh, the granddad. We got 1 million of them.
Jacob B.
Hey, it's Big Jacob P.
Oh, Jacob
right.
P in the place to be.
Okay, you got to stand up. Let me turn the earpiece off. Hold on. Let me turn the earpiece off.
Here's where we go off.
Oh, we're
Jacob
going off
P.
the rails, kid.
Jacob P, what's up, baby?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, little dude?
How you doing, kiddo?
Friend Erick, we have Jim Kulik, we have our friend Jackie G, and none other stepdad, Dad himself, Radley Belmont. Huh? How about that? Yeah, ooh is right. Can you? We're doing a Q&A with Radley Belmont. Do you have a question? Because he's leaving. Big Jacob P, do you have a question for half of the stepdad, one rad dad?
What's your favorite color?
I knew it.
What?
Blue.
Oh,
Blue.
that's my
All right,
favorite.
question number 2.
My favorite colors.
I think your favorite color is red.
Yep.
He sees your hat.
I got that stepdad intuition. I know.
There you go.
It's also the color of your beanie. So
That's actually his go-to question. He utilizes that question in every interview. But that's all you're going to ask, Mr. Rad Dad? That's it? Don't ask him if he owns a laptop. That's such a wasted question, please. Don't ask him that.
what's that? What's the difficult workings during a heat as a heel? What?
That's exactly what he said.
I must have misheard him. Sorry.
Oh my god.
So is that it? What's your favorite color? That's all your material?
Do you go to LJ's?
Oh, what he wants to know is, do you go to LJ's Pizza? Now, LJ's Pizza is where I work, and it's located in Bristol, Connecticut, so I highly doubt that.
Cheap plug.
You know what? I was on my way once, and I think I took a left turn at Albuquerque, and I just missed it.
He was on the way, but never.
Yeah. So maybe next time.
I'd love to have a celebrity like Brad Dad at LJ's Pizza. Look at the face page for our hours. Hey, Jacob P, thank you for joining us. I know you're on your way out. Can I have some love, please, my friend? Oh, thank you so much for that. Mwah. I love you, my buddy. Are you going to say goodbye to the guys, man?
Bye,
Take
Jacob.
care, Jacob P.
See you later, kiddo.
All right. One big Jacob P. Wow. What's your favorite color? I mean, come on. I mean, you've got Rad Dad in house. What's your favorite color?
You know
Holy
what that
shit.
just reminded me of? That just reminded me that I have a pizza in the freezer for me, and our oven is broken, and it's been sitting there for like 4 days. And all I want to do is eat this pizza, man.
I'm
Now I want pizza.
I'm sorry. If you do want to take a drive, it's called LJ's Pizza right in Bristol, Connecticut. Check it out.
All right, well, if I'm in the area.
Yeah. But anywho, let's continue our soiree. Shwag. That's swag with a little Jewish spin on it, if you will. Shwag. What do you got for Rad Dad? Rag Dad. Oh, I am so sorry. Rad. Hey, there's another tagline. He's a Rag Dad.
You know, he does that.
Sorry. Shwag, what do you got for one Rad Dad?
Let's see.
Actually, you just reminded me of another one. Do you remember DDP in like 2002 WWE? He would say, "It's me, it's DDP."
Yeah.
We have it's me, it's DAD. Get ready to feel the spank.
Yes. Yes.
I just remembered that one.
Wow. He has a million of them. Holy cow. It's expensive. Shwag, what do you got?
And Big
All right.
Daddy Cool and the dad guy, of course.
All right. These are my questions. Is what team you want to face you haven't fought yet
Ooh,
around
Uh,
the area?
there is a lot of teams I still haven't wrestled. We travel a good where we did before the pandemic. We were traveling a good bit, but there's so many good teams out there right now. Um, first of all, a big one that's right on my radar right now would be wrestling SWB and Jay Freddy. That's right up there as something that is a goal like I could do right now. Absolutely. You can see the sign there.
The Kowalski guys.
Well, guys, whether it's for the tag titles or not, I would absolutely love to wrestle them. We are very wacky wrestlers, but we can wrestle just as serious as them. We can do a little back and forth like that. I don't get to show my technical wrestling as much as I'd like, so that's something that I could bring out. But that they are such a great team. They're two great wrestlers, a lot of experience. It'd be absolutely fantastic to wrestle those guys in any capacity. And just the last show, we were originally scheduled to team with them in an 8-man tag, and it was announced, but then it got switched to something else. So I still want to wrestle with them at some point this year. It would be absolutely great.
Somebody book
Outside
it.
outside of that, I there's so many teams. Let's see. See, my tag partner's way better with names. I always forget names off the top of my head.
How about the closer?
There it is.
wow.
The closers, Bear Country just came to mind.
There you go. Woo!
Yeah, yeah. I would love to wrestle Bear. I have a funny story about Bear Boulder.
Beefcake.
Beefcake. Yeah, I always call him Beefcake, but I don't know who everyone calls him something different now.
I call him Beefcake too.
So we were in a battle royal, and on the day before, Wade broke a rib. So he got a cannonball, he cracked a rib. So we were just doing a battle royal, and Beefcake was in a mask that day. I guess he was some, I don't know why. I think he was just Beefcake, but he was wearing a mask. And I was joking with him about how he looked like Vader, and how I don't know if you ever noticed, but when Vader punches, he always says his own name.
Yeah.
So it's always Vader, 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 Vader. So we're joking about that for like an hour backstage. We're just going up to random things. I'm like drinking water. Vader, Vader, Vader. Like, we get into the match. But it's just me and him, not my partner. So we get into the match. We're doing the battle royal. I turn around. He's right there. I'm in the corner. Vader, Vader. He starts going at him. My partner, who is just coming to help me out, he turns him around. So what does he do? Vader, Vader, Vader. Right to my partner's cracked ribs.
Oh no!
Oh,
And he's like practically yelling at him to stop. He doesn't stop. But he's not fighting back either. So he's just like hunched in the corner while he's just punching him in the ribs. And then at some point he just stops and walks away because my partner's like dead. Like, he's not defending himself anymore. He's just in the corner like a puddle of like garbage. And he just turns around and leaves. And later on he walks up, he's like, "What the heck, man?" He goes, "Oh, I thought you knew about the Vader thing. I'm sorry." So he had no idea. Needless to say, we didn't win that battle royal.
Boulder's a big dude, man.
Yeah. I remember seeing Beefcake on his upcoming, like well before Bear Country, and I'm telling you, man, that guy can play quite the character. I mean, I know what we see in Bear Country, but if you've ever seen him as Beefcake, true legit Beefcake, I mean, that dude was something, man. Such a good guy. One Beefcake is. Joey G, this is a special day. We got you on. We have Rad Dad on, and I know you've interviewed him. Is there anything you've got in your pocket for one Rad Dad that you'd like to ask him?
there
Yeah, what's in
anything?
your pockets? Show us your pockets now.
Just a wallet, man.
How
Just
much?
like, I don't know. I got like $7 in there and like 2 pennies. So
The 702, baby.
that Taco Bell gift card. I guess, was it? Have you ever? I'm trying to think. Wow, I thought I'd be good at this, but I'm not. Okay, so with your Test of Strength debut when it first happened, you obviously kind of had an idea that a certain squad was going to be popping up over there. What was the feeling leading up to it? Like eventually, finally coming out and like getting that, because we popped hard. I could definitely tell you we popped hard.
That's
The feeling of getting to see that like that really big group that was there for like stepdads.
For me, that kind of thing never gets old. Like I imagine, like for me, I always think of like the moment of like the Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 6. He's running down the aisle and everyone's kind of rising as he runs down. Like that's kind of how I felt going in there. I felt like a smaller version of that. And it's just it doesn't matter if it's 5 people or 500 people. That kind of stuff gets me pumped. Man. I get in like a Hogan mode. I'm just all the way down to the ring, that kind of stuff. I just get really excited about it. But I also we're a tag team that likes to be interactive with the audience as well. I don't want to ever just go in the ring and have a match where I'm telling a story to everybody and they're invisible. That's not how I work. It's not like a play where you're pretending there is no audience. In wrestling, I love interacting with the crowd. So having you guys there for me to say stuff like, "Yo, it's not a dad bod," and you guys yell, "It's a father figure," is so cool to me, and I will never get over that. But it's a huge thing. It plays into how confident I am at the beginning of the match. It plays into what I'm gonna do in the match. The match would have been different if you guys weren't there. And that's just how pro wrestling is. So if you're that type of wrestler where you're interacting with the crowd, that means a lot. For instance, I mentioned the match with the Ugly Ducklings. When we walked in there, I had no idea, and neither did he. We were going to do the first 10 minutes of the match. That's real. Like everyone thinks that the whole matches are planned out to every little piece or whatever. We walked in saying, "Let's have fun." That's all we said to each other. And we had a great time because that crowd clapped with our stupid dancing. They yelled for random things. In one match I had a belt in my hand, and a fan got out of his seat and yelled, "Hit him with the belt!" And I went, okay, and I almost turned heel, and the referee took the belt away from me. It worked for the story we were telling that night because I was very frustrated in the match. But if that fan didn't say that, I wouldn't have been able to just do that organically, and it just worked. Yeah. So having you guys there means a lot to the type of performance I want to give in the ring. And I'm sure the more there is, the bigger it's going to be and the more awesome it's going to feel. But absolutely, you know, people think like, oh, the fans aren't there, so like the matches aren't going to be any different. I absolutely believe every match you've seen in quarantine has been different because the fans aren't there. It means something.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh no.
Now I want to double back on that. This is Don Kool-Aid, by the way. I got this today in the mail from the Bike Club, if you will.
That's what you got.
He has ice too. Don Kool-Aid. So anywho, I want to kind of piggyback on that because I was just speaking to Mr. Barton earlier this afternoon, Chris Barton, the Bushwick Beast, and he was touching upon that. Read your crowd, adapt to what you're seeing, what you're hearing when you come through that curtain. Rad Dad, you just went through that perfectly with your words. You saw what was happening, you soaked it in, and you worked with it. But a two-part on that. Now, these guys spent some time, effort, passion. They write all of this stuff out. They make these beautiful signs. Then you get jackasses like one Ryan Frost, one TJ Howell III. You get the Anthony Cantina. You get the Jared Silver Kite, as I like to call him. Silver Kite pisses him right off. Call him Silver Kite, Joey G. He'll love it.
You should call him a trust fund turd. He loves it.
Rad Dad, when you're seeing your the beautiful signs that the fans have brought, being hit with kendo sticks, being ripped by hand, and being spat upon. Not only that, Ryan Frost was wiping his hiney with one of them. How does that make you feel, my friend?
Well, I'll tell you, you can see in some of the pictures and some of the footage, I had to be held back. If there weren't ropes there would have been a suicide dive right on then and there.
Slowest ever.
Landed in the stepdad squad then too, because we were over there.
There's a couple of pictures I'm going to be posting soon that I absolutely love because it's like Howell the Third, I believe, is on the table and he's just surrounded by signs. They're just shoved in his face. Yes. And to me, it reminds me of like a guy on like a tree as all these dogs are around, like trying to bark and get at him. And I just absolutely love that. It's such a funny image. I absolutely love signs. I'm so happy that we get all these really creative signs. And I get that they're there to have a good time, but their signs illuminate the room. I feel like every fan there is getting in. It's like when you're at like an awkward Christmas party or something, or your high school had like a dance recital and there's like nothing going on, and then there's one weirdo just comes out and does a really stupid dance, and everyone goes, "Oh, okay, we can all be stupid, I guess." And then it just like that's exactly what those signs do for everybody, even before the show.
Great words. Well said by Rad Dad himself. Joey G and his crew, they are already prepping for Dear Norma smokers. I fuck this up all the time. Ryder Smokehouse, Thomaston, Connecticut, April 3rd, 5 minutes away from my house. That's the best thing about it. And they're already prepping for Dear Norma. The Stepdad Squad are off the chain with their creativity, their effort and passion as fans, bringing all of this stuff to the table. I love seeing it. I think it's some of the coolest shit. So you guys really have to be super, super stoked when this stuff starts coming out on the face page and the medias and stuff. Now, friend Erick, I know we haven't been able to get to you much, but we're coming down to you, my friend. I know you've had a lot of fun, and I love watching you have as much fun as you do on the Fan Roundtable. We've brought in Rad Dad. We're having a fine conversation, learning much about him, getting some fun stories, might I add, that we never expected. And those are the things that happen on Fan Roundtable that you never expect.
Sure.
My friend, what do you have for Rad Dad? Because I know you enjoy the stepdad stuff.
And I do. And let me start first. As a stepdad, I appreciate your work. I love puns. I love bad dad jokes, which are good bad dad jokes. I mean, the worse, the better. So I love all that. I love the play on characters and stuff like that. And I really don't. I've been trying, while everybody's been talking, trying to think of a question to ask Rad Dad. And I'm like, I got nothing because you've been answering them. Like every time I come up with something, you answered it, or you gave an anecdote about it, and it's been great. So you've been an awesome guest. I love it. I can't wait to see you. It sounds like you guys are booked for Norma, and
yes.
I'm hoping above all hopes to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally get my first taste of the Stepdads live. Have you guys been booked against anybody yet? I haven't seen that. Are you scheduled?
Yes, we are scheduled to wrestle a team called the Nightcrawlers, which was
oh shit.
Yes, which we originally teamed with in an 8-man tag, and won. against the Firm and Cold Cash. And then last show, they teamed with Jay Freddy and SWB. They replaced us in the match. So we had a different match that we won against Cold Cash. So we're 2-0 against Cold Cash. Now we're taking on the Night Crawlers in a normal tag match. Don't know if it's number one contendership or not. I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm really excited about that match. It's going to be fun.
I'm hoping beyond all hopes that I'm able to go to that April show, and it's all in where we stand here in Massachusetts. But I've seen stuff from Center Ring on YouTube, Facebook, and everything else of you guys' work, and I love and respect comedy wrestling done well, and I think you guys are doing a damn good job of it. And to make it look fun and comedic, but also it has purpose. And I think you're doing that well. And that's just my compliment to you. That's all I got, really.
I absolutely appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
The fans get it, and I know. Again, we've spoken about the modern era of fans. A lot of them just want what I've come to describe as of late. Fans go to wrestling. It's very the same thing. Fans for NASCAR. They want to see a car crash. They want to see somebody jump off that top rope, do like 30 corkscrews, jump in fire onto some guy, and do a holy shit chant, and watch the poor bastard get taken away in an ambulance. So I really do kind of say that the modern fan, most of them want to see car crashes in the ring. But where you guys, you're looking at longevity, you're wrestling smart, you're using the comedic value, which is, not all of it is lost, but it's kind of fell into cracks, if you will. It's fallen into cracks for sure over time, along with a manager. That manager art, that's kind of fallen through the cracks as well through time. So right now, as we've done this fan roundtable, Rad Dad, we've not only found more information about the stepdads as a unit, Rad Dad himself, some cool stories, but you were able to kind of sit back and actually hear people that haven't even seen you live yet really talk good about what you bring to the table, and that they're already would like to experience that live. So my point being, my friend, is I really think that the Rad Dad and Papa Bear are doing something very well together, no matter who says what. And like you said before, I know we're gimmicky, but son of a bitch, we can wrestle too. So don't be afraid. We can pull the gimmick back a little bit, and we can wrestle like a sumbitch. So we've all been sitting here, and we have some new fans of the stepdads, I think, right here on the fan roundtable. So I think we had a fine soiree with our friends and our very special guest, Rad Dad, today. And I can't thank everybody enough for spending the time with us. But again, Rad Dad, we have some new fans, and I hope that you don't know what to expect when I say, hey, why don't you come on the fan roundtable? I hope you enjoyed it and you had some fun.
I had an absolute blast. This was awesome and unexpected, because I don't know what was going to happen, but that's the fun of the roundtable. So
we really behaved ourselves today, man. It was like we were on our best behavior. I have one question, and Rad, that I did not mean to interrupt you.
No.
Now, Frosty's partner there, is his gimmick after Gilligan's Island? Is Thurston Howell the third? Is that the guy? Is that who he is? So
I mean,
at the next show,
I wouldn't mind if he was shipwrecked somewhere for a little while, actually.
I was going to say, at the next show, you guys could chant Gilligan, and hopefully he'd know what it was all about, right?
I like it. I like it.
You like Mr. Kulik said, it's not that we were behaving. There's one element missing from this fan roundtable, and that's Sourpuss McGee. Drinkwater. He brings the heat, the white lava heat, if you will, to the table. So it's been a little bit calmer than most roundtables. So I do have to agree with Mr. Kulik. And we were missing the future Donovan Dwyer. That's another element. That kid, love me some Donovan, but boy, don't get him going. Holy shit, man.
Has he interviewed him yet, Don?
He has.
Has the future has? I gotta check that one out. I must have missed that one so far, but that's good.
The future making his rounds, getting the talent, and I love that he's picked up a lot of the familiar faces that we know. And not only that, he's picked up some names within like Impact and such. You know, like Ethan Page and Josh Alexander and stuff. And I'm not going to say the other guy because of friend Erick. I'm respecting his I won't say that. But anywho, we've had a great time today on the Fan Roundtable, and I can't thank you enough for spending the time with us. I can't thank the fans. That thermostat is fucking money. I love that to pieces. That is amazing. But before I do get out of here, I want to do two things. First, because on the Fan Roundtable, one of our favorites, one of our regs on the Fan Roundtable, one Big Juicy. She's a new gal on the scene, fine talent, filled. What do you call her, Mr. Kulik? What do you call our friend Big Juicy?
Well, let me tell you something. Coming onto the scene the way she did, I call her the Queen of Charisma, and I made that nickname up. Damn it. So, but I'm just saying, she's awesome. She really is. She's our girl. She's a bright light in a real dark world right now, and just seeing her smile she's really awesome. If you haven't had a chance to see her in the ring yet, check it out because she's going to be the future. You know, she really is, not taking anything away from the future, but she's going to be the future. That's the Queen of Charisma right there, Big Juicy.
Big Juicy, she's because the shows, they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. Rad Dad knows that firsthand. You don't know what you're going to get, so you get what you can. And today, Big Juicy, she's working at an event. So we congratulate one Big Juicy for getting some work in. And I know she's going to do fine at this event. We can't say where she's working, but I can't wait until we all find out together because you people are going to be excited. That's going to be some cool stuff. That is going to be fantastico. We wear the merch to present to, I don't care, the guy behind the cash register to maybe ask us, hey, who is that? Oh, that's our friend Big Juicy. We love our friends in the wrestling world. We lift them up. We see some fine merch, insanely rude over there and such. Look at friend Erick. He's always pushing the merch, opening the boxes and having a lot of fun. We all buy the stuff, support your wrestlers. The stepdads have plenty of. And Erick, have you seen the stepdads merch at all?
I have seen some, and I may have to do some looking.
Dude, stepdads stuff.
That's
Where's the best place to find your
right
merch?
there.
Pro Wrestling Tees / Stepdads. Oh yeah,
Okay.
we got four different ones up there.
Yeah.
All sorts of wackiness.
All righty.
That's it right there. Brother E is the unboxing king. I had to say that.
I got one, actually, that's not on PWT, actually. You know,
Oh, you got that?
Up,
Oh yeah, there you go. Show them.
up
This
at
is
the
what we
last
picked.
Yeah. I picked
We're
this
not
up
allowed to sell these on it, so Dad Generation X.
That's awesome.
on the back. It says "You're grounded."
Got 2 words. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And we have wrestled as Dad Generation X, and we've done the whole new old age in-laws thing in the middle of the ring and all that. So it's awesome.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yep.
Maybe, just maybe, you could revisit that in a showing at Test of Strength. You never know. That would be fantastic for us, the fans.
Absolutely.
Man, that would be great. And I know you guys want to be unique and bring different flavors, but sometimes bringing those things back are still fun as well.
We have a couple of different entrances that we bust out maybe every other year or so, especially for new promotions. So that's definitely going to happen.
Awesome. I look forward to that. Friend Erick, You've been amazing today. I thank you for joining our soiree today. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me. You know, I had a blast.
Absolutely. Shwag, it's been a while. That's swag with a little Jewish spin on it, if you will. Shwag, thank you for joining the party today. It's been a while, my friend.
I know. Thanks for having me. Glad to be back. So,
Absolutely. Love seeing that smile.
Yep.
Love me some Shwag smile, man. Oh,
Just gonna
love
say
that.
the same.
Absolutely. The leader of the Woo Crew, Jim Kulik, thank you for coming in. Even though your boy, your nemesis, Sour Push McGee, wasn't here. Thanks for hanging with us, my friend.
Man, I'm telling you something. But it still had the same intensity because Don Kincaid stirring the pot with his very special guests. Looking forward to seeing you live there, buddy, with your tag team. Thanks for coming on up the table today, man. We really appreciate it. And like I said, one day you will experience the Woo Crew, brother.
I apologize in advance, my friend. I'm sorry. And we move on to our new face of the Roundtable. My man, my new Goomba, amigo, chum, friend, Jackie G. My man, thank you so much for spending the time. He did not. Oh, shit. He ripped up a sign. Oh God, that was money. Oh, I love that. I am so clipping that. That was absolute money. Joey G, thank you for coming on. And again, you don't know what to expect. I don't tell you nothing. I just say we're hanging out. We talk wrestling, but I'm bringing in a special guest. Who's a special guest? Suck it. I'm not telling you. Just come on anyways. So thank you for spending the time with us, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I'd gladly come back for another one of these. This was a blast, man.
Oh,
I love talking wrestling.
I can't wait to have you back because we have some fine special guests. As you well know, this is a great first one for you, my friend. This is right up your alley.
Ah, yes. That sounded a little bit like Matt Hardy there. So
I've come up with a new nickname for Joey G. That's the Natural. That guy's got a complete podcast voice. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Even though you're a Yankees fan, but that's okay.
I don't hate the Red Sox as much as I hate the Astros. So.
Wow. Zing zing. Baseball's over. Friend Erick, you got something going on over there?
I just thought we should take a moment for a friend of ours and send some love out to Larry Bosher. And he's having a rough time of it right now. He's in and out of the hospital and in rehab right now. And I just thought we should send some love out to him. You know,
Larry.
That's what you hear. Yeah. What you just heard right there, Rad Dad, is what you hear when Will Crew sees one Larry. I always thought his freaking name was Boucher. I called him Mr. Boucher forever, and he kept asking me why. And I go, "That's your fucking last name?" He goes, "No, it's Boucher." I go, "Oh shit!" Yeah. So when you hear the Woo Crew and they see Larry, that's what you hear from a mile away. Larry. Fun times at the shows, my friend. Fun times.
I want to hear Touche Boucher.
Oh man.
Oh, wait a minute, a new one.
A new one. Yes. Touche Boucher. Wow. That. He's going to hate Kulik for that, but I love you for that, Rad Dad. Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Boucher, Boucher.
Yes.
Oh, that's it right there, brother. That's it.
That's what we like to do at the shows, Mr. Rad Dad. We like to bring our energy. We like to bring our fun. We take the bullshit. We put it aside when we walk through those doors.
Yep.
We give you men and women we want to give you something because you give us a lot of something. So you guys say without us, there's no you. But we like to reciprocate that nonetheless because it's the chicken and the egg thing. Without you, there's no us. So it really just keeps going back and forth in this little vicious circle, the dance that we do between fans and wrestlers. So Mr. Boucher, Touche Boucher, we send you our love. We hope you feel better.
Yes.
To Sourpuss McGee on the day of his birth, I hope you're having a blast at Chuck E. Cheese. I just have a grand day. You do you, my friend. It is what it is. We had a fine day. Rad Dad, I cannot thank you again. And I know I've said thank you probably 80,000 times, but that's what I like to do with our fine guests. We like to share love. We like to give thanks. Rad Dad, thank you for taking the time and sitting with our silliness, dealing with our questions, getting to know yourself. And I can't thank you enough.
I can't thank you guys enough. This was an absolute blast. It really was. And it means a lot to me. You know, I'm just some guy sitting around in New Jersey waiting for shows to start again. So the fact that anybody wants to even talk to me, much less ask questions, it always means something to me. So thank you very much. And don't forget, as I always say, Radley 8:16 p.m. says it's past your bedtime. Oh, heck yeah.
What an awesome way to end a very fine fan roundtable. This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest, if you will. We had Shwag, that's swag with a Jewish spin. We had friend Erick. We had the leader of the Woo Crew. Look at Shwag. We had the leader of the Woo Crew, Jim Kulik himself. We had a new face, Jackie G, my man. And we had one half of the stepdads, Rad Dad Radley Belmont himself, all on a fan roundtable. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Don.